I wanted to go over this agency that I had to discontinue services with due to the fact that basically one of the people there Googled me, and my therapist had told me that someone at the agency had found my YouTube channel, which apparently it wasn't my YouTube channel. They never actually clarified what had happened, but what was apparently what happened was they had found my YouTube channel or found YouTube videos about me, never clarified which YouTube videos they were, blew everything way out of proportion, assumed that I was guilty of these things that they found on the internet that people were saying about me, because of course, everything on the internet is true. And then, of course, they wanted, me to get a psychiatric evaluation, yada, yada, yada. I told them to fuck off, basically. Months go by, no clarification, not even a fucking apology. So I discontinued services with this piece of shit organization, essentially. So I want to go over how the history of this organization is a history of overreach. I've already gone over in previous videos how the level of incompetency of the people that run this place are stunning. It's a stunning level of incompetence. If you consider someone like me has been going to an agency for, I don't know, I guess I've been going there for 4 years or so. And I've been telling them the whole time I'm being harassed online, yada, 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 telling them the whole story. This same organization attempted to 302 me for having psychotic delusions. The place they send me to proves and throws out the 302 because they find out, no, I'm being harassed online and people are lying about me online. My criminal record does not match the nonsense that people are saying online. I'm released, okay. A couple months later, my therapist's supervisor, who Googles me, for whatever reason, I don't even know why somebody would Google me, finds all this stuff. My assumption is she just was snooping around online or something and decided to Google me and then believe whatever she found online and then go with it. This is the level of intelligence and competency of the people. This is the clinical coordinator, Allison Jenkins, that did this. This is the intelligence level, or lack thereof, of the people running the show at Lenape Valley. Okay? Never has there been an apology made. Never has there been any type of anything done to clarify what had happened or how the mistake was made or what happened or who was contacted. Nothing. Okay? And this is just the level of incompetence of this organization. Over and over again, incompetence, screw up after screw up after screw up. I've gone over the leadership of the organization, but just in case, let's take another look at the CEO profile. Okay, that's Sharon Coran. She's the CEO. She's a licensed clinical social worker, Master of Business Arts, yada, yada, yada. Okay, Board of Directors. We'll go over that. This is Lisa Policari, President. Mark Strasberg, Vice President. Scott E. Marshall, President. Kelly A. McGowan, Esquire. Karen J. Babbitt, Ph.D. Dominique L. Galloway. What do you know? There is actually some diversity here. James R. Happ. Rob Hutchinson. Edwin R. Knopf, medical doctor. Rob Marchand. Christopher Mazzullo. Joseph J. Nolan. Robert J. Rogala. Michael Wolf. Service directors. Lisa Batesel, Linda Bunda, Heather Coletta, Rebecca Duchar, Jana Fisher, Sarah Gabinelli, Corey Leeper, Megan Matagna, Jennifer Moran, Sarah Scampton, Bill Shelley, Steve Sost, Michelle Taylor, Nicole Wolf. Okay. So their mission, allegedly, the mission of Lenape Valley allegedly is to partner with members of their community in countering mental health, substance use, intellectual or developmental challenges as they pursue their personal aspirations and an enhanced quality of life. No, their obvious mission is to oppress heterosexual white men, as I have proven. So, Lenape Valley Foundation throughout the decades. It was established in 1958 as the Mental Health Guidance Center of Bucks County. 1960s, Mental Health Guidance Center changes its name to Bucks County Psychiatric Center. Bucks County Psychiatric Center provides more outpatient psychiatric services than any other organization in Pennsylvania outside of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, and expands services to include persons with intellectual disabilities. Bucks County Psychiatric Center expands in Lower Bucks and Central Bucks with the addition of offices in Pendle and Chalfont. Bucks County Psychiatric Center becomes Bucks County's first base service unit, with Doylestown site being the Central Bucks base service unit and the Pendle site the Lower Bucks base service unit. Base service units are responsible for delivering the services required of each county by the Pennsylvania Mental Health and Intellectual Disabilities Act of 1966. So this shows you how screwed up the regulation and monitoring of these places are when you have people like the people that work at this place working at this place that is providing, it's the base service unit for the area. Now, it's no longer, I believe in Lower Bucks, the base service unit, if I remember correctly, is actually my former employer, Pendle Mental Health, at the moment, which is another horrible organization. In the 1970s, Bucks County Psychiatric Center Board of Directors decides to have its two sites operate as separate organizations. Articles of incorporation are approved, renaming the Central Bucks location Lenape Valley Foundation. Lenape Valley Foundation expands programming to include partial hospital and residential programs. It begins to deliver crisis services, in the emergency room of Doylestown Hospital, and also Lower Bucks Hospital. You know, the crisis services that accused me of having a psychotic delusion until a psychiatrist verified I wasn't having a psychotic delusion. It was actually the truth. But, you know, that's no reason for months later for my therapist's supervisor not to Google me and assume the absolute worst, because after all, whatever people say on the internet is true. 1980s, Lenape Valley Foundation opens its Correctional Mental Health Services program located in Bucks County Prison. As you can tell, this is all a big money scam, is really what it is. It provides mental health services to inmates. The program is later recognized across the Commonwealth and nationally as a model program. Yeah, I'm sure so many prisoners have been brought to heel by Lenape Valley Foundation. Lenape Valley Foundation continues to expand its coverage area and consumers by delivering services to students at Delaware Valley College, by opening an outpatient office in Richboro, Pennsylvania, and by expanding to include intensive case management. Lenape Valley Foundation opens its main facility located on the campus of Doylestown Hospital at 500 Northwest Street. 1990s, Lenape Valley Foundation receives federal approval as the first Medicare-eligible community mental health center partial hospital program in southeast Pennsylvania. Lenape Valley Foundation partnered with Eugenia Hospital to open a child and adolescent partial hospital program in Doylestown. Telephone crisis services like the crisis services that hung up on me years ago are provided by this organization. So keep that in mind. Crisis services that will hang up on you if they feel inconvenienced or don't like you because you happen to be white will hang up on you. And walk-in crisis services, which will ignore the hell out of everybody in there and put everybody into a potential dangerous situation and refuse you your heart medication like they did to me, are provided by this organization. So keep that in mind. You can either have telephone crisis services that will hang up on you, or you can walk in and have the crisis services where they will keep you in a lockdown facility for over 24 hours and refuse you your heart medication until your cardiologist calls and demands that they give you the heart medication. Then they'll go about and pump you up on tranquilizers against your cardiologist's wishes because you happen to have an issue that was caused by psychiatric medication that could be exacerbated by psychiatric medication. But who the hell cares, because they're crisis workers and they know everything. Mental health services were expanded to include resource coordination, case management services. Lenape Valley Foundation began to deliver mobile mental health services, the kind that hang up on you, in their homes. Early intervention services for at-risk children. Keep this in mind. Ages 0 to 3. 0 to 3. They are labeling children with these so-called psychiatric illnesses. How many 0-year-olds do you think have bipolar disorder or have a noticeable psychotic delusions or things of that nature? Come on. Lenape Valley Foundation opened the only acute respite residential program in Bucks County. Philadelphia Magazine named Lenape Valley Foundation Crisis Service as the best in the suburban southeast Pennsylvania counties, along with more than 100 similar organizations across Pennsylvania. Lenape Valley Foundation joined to form the Community Behavioral Healthcare Network of Pennsylvania. Lenape Valley Foundation and Doylestown Hospital jointly opened the Evergreen Acute Partial Hospital Program, which operated within the hospital setting. Lenape Valley Foundation became the behavioral health care partner and provider for the Doylestown Hospital Treatment Unit. Lenape Valley Foundation and Doylestown Hospital expanded the inpatient psychiatric unit to include a geriatric track, and Lenape Valley Foundation began to deliver geriatric consultation. They want to get you from birth till death, 0 to death, 0 to geriatric. A new residential program in Warminster. It's all about the money, all about the Benjamins, as Ilhan Omar would say. Lenape Valley found in 2000 to 2009, Lenape Valley Foundation expands its crisis services to Lower Bucks County. That's where they don't like to give people heart medication. Another residential program in Middletown, Bucks County opens to serve as long-term housing for persons with serious mental illness. Lenape Valley Foundation opens the first high-fidelity assertive community treatment program. In Pennsylvania, the program is later recognized as a Center of Excellence. It leads you to wonder when you see these programs in action, and believe me, I did, as an employee of Pendle Mental Health, I saw the types of programs that are offered by things like this. It leads you to wonder how these things are named Centers of Excellence, because they're shit. They provide shit services, and a lot of times abuse people. And, they stigmatize, abuse, belittle, harass, Google people. The Fire Pack program, an assessment program for juvenile fire setters in Bucks County that was often cited as a model program was implemented. New construction doubles the size of the main Doylestown site, providing more space to serve the community. Lenape Valley Foundation becomes a member of the Partners in Excellence program of University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey, contracting with the Bucks County Court of Common Pleas. See, it's all about the money. How can we get into that government money? Okay, Lenape Valley Foundation begins conducting mental health evaluations of court-ordered individuals. Lenape Valley Foundation becomes the first Pennsylvania certified co-occurring competent assessment facility in southeast Pennsylvania. Lenape Valley Foundation begins a variety of new services, including the transitional outpatient program, certified peer support services, psychiatric services at the Bucks County Youth Center, and Seniors Empowered for Life Fulfillment. It's all about the wording. Lenape Valley Foundation partners with Bucks County, Northampton Township, and Pennsylvania police departments. Keep this in mind, and NAMI, but I'll get into NAMI in a bit. So, Bucks County, okay, Lenape Valley Foundation, the same organization where the clinical coordinator of outpatient, for some reason, decides to Google some guy that's receiving treatment at Lenape Valley and go ape shit, assuming everything she Googled is accurate, okay, without looking into the fact that the same things that she's Googling was disproven by a psychiatrist from a center that person, me, was sent to. The psychiatrist agrees with me. The psychiatrist even told me I should sue this place for the lack of heart medicine that they gave me. They didn't give me my freaking heart medicine, okay? They did not treat me properly, and they accused me of having a psychotic episode when I wasn't. And then this crazy lunatic, the clinical coordinator, Allison Jenkins, decides that Googling me is a valid form of finding things out about me. And then this is the same organization that has teamed up with various police departments in the area and NAMI to create and implement Bucks County Crisis Intervention Team. Are these the people you want talking to the police about mental health? The same people that can't accurately assess any situation and use Google as a means to I guess, stalk the people that come there for help? Lenape Valley Foundation, in 2010 and 2019, Lenape Valley Foundation became certified to deliver mental health first aid training. Lenape Valley Foundation adopted a trauma-informed care approach. Yeah, they're so trauma-informed, they know damned well. This is what's funny. They know full well that I have post-traumatic stress disorder. They know full well my history, okay, of my father committing suicide, yada, 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 blah, 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 okay? And they're so trauma-informed that my therapist made the excuse that I have to be understanding of lunatics, like her supervisor, that Googled me and then freaked the hell out because her supervisor has vicarious trauma. Well, you know what? I actually have trauma. I'm diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. And on top of that, I'm the one receiving treatment, not her supervisor. And I have to be understanding of her loon supervisor? Does that sound reasonable? Does it sound reasonable that my therapist from this organization is telling me that I have to be understanding that her supervisor may or may not have vicarious trauma because she provides mental health support to people and somehow thinks that Googling me is a verified means of determining things about me when she already has a psychiatric evaluation from a frickin' psychiatrist that determined that Lenape Valley Foundation is kooked? Lenape Valley Foundation co-sponsored the first Bucks County Conference on Suicide Awareness. Yeah, they co-sponsored the first conference on suicide awareness. This is the same organization whose crisis unit hung up on me when I called because I was suicidal years back. The Holiday Assistance Program was implemented. Blah, blah, blah. First non-Bucks County office, yada, 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 going on. Suicide. Anytime I see suicide, they did a suicide prevention candlelight vigil. Anytime I see this crap, it makes me remember when they hung up on me. A bunch of horse shit. In response to who gives, I can't even say that word on here. Moving on. So I thought this was funny. This is from Bucks County Library. It wants you to remember you're not alone. Okay, in Mental Health Awareness Month, which is May. Apparently you are if you try to get help from Lenape Valley Foundation. In fact, you're worse than alone. You're going to be stigmatized, you're going to be harassed, you're going to be abused. Moving on. More than 75% of the donations that NAMI receives come from Big Pharma. So, in April, this organization, Psych Central, noted that NAMI gets a significant portion of its funding from pharmaceutical companies. They had to guess at what that percentage was. However, because the National Alliance for Mental Illness refused to detail their pharmaceutical grants and donations. Now remember, these are not pharmaceutical grants for research. These are not pharmaceutical grants for anything that's going to better the lives of people. These are pharmaceutical grants to a political action thing, NAMI, which is going to weasel its way, to worm its way into the government of Bucks County, into the mental health agencies of Bucks County, and into the minds of the politicians that are writing the legislation of Bucks County as well as the country itself, as I showed you in my previous video. They were basically telling President Bush what to do. Okay, New York Times reported yesterday nearly 75% of NAMI's donations come from pharmaceutical companies. 23 million over 3 years. 75% of NAMI's donations come from pharmaceutical companies. 23 million over 3 years' time. The Mental Health Alliance, which is hugely influential in many state capitals, has refused for years to disclose specifics of its fundraising. I wonder why. But according to investigators in Mr. Grassley's office and documents obtained by the New York Times, drug makers from 2006 to 2008 contributed nearly $23 million to the alliance, about 3/4 of its donations. Even the group's executive director, Michael Fitzpatrick, said in an interview that the drug company's donations were excessive and that things would change. How much can they change? NAMI is not some brand new organization that just happened upon pharmaceutical funding. They've been around for decades, okay? And this person wouldn't be surprised to learn that the percentage of pharma funding has been similar for most of that time, okay? So keep that in mind. Most of their funding is coming from pharmaceutical companies. The organization has seemingly allowed its relationship with pharmaceutical companies to guide, some might say dictate, some of their advocacy efforts. So-called advocacy efforts. It's not advocacy. What this is the pharmaceutical companies and people with a medicalization agenda and with an agenda to oppress and suppress opposition to their agenda. It's using these things. It's using NAMI as a way to corrupt the political system and using certain agencies like Lenape Valley to push their agenda. There's no problem in taking a pharmaceutical company money. The problem comes when you're secretive about such funding and let it influence how you choose to deliver your services. NAMI has used such funding for great support in patient care programs by blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that. I've witnessed the stuff. So that'll be all for this video. I just thought it might be nice to make such a video. And yeah.